Hello.
Hello there. Decision, everything comes so bland. Look for mystery. If you kiss me, I throw my fist in the air, and I'll fight for what is right. You need to make your life feel pretty tight, yeah. All this distance, read my system, Lord, I wish it made sense. You're the difference between my wish list and me wishing it would end. So I'll fight for whatever right. You need to make your life feel like a really, really good time. I don't wanna let you down again. I don't wanna let you down again. I hate myself if I let you down again. Promise I won't let you down again. Like a sail or a kite, I'ma let the wind decide. As long as you are by my side, no, I'll be alright. No, I'll be alright. If I'm wrong, if I'm right, I'ma let the wind decide. As long as you're by my side, no, I'll be alright. No, I'll be alright. Swish, swish like a big fish in a petri dish. When you're leaning for a kiss, I feel like a king. I'll take whatever.
Fantastic Sherlock Fox says, muted.
No, not muted, just not running the right software. I booted most stuff up, but I forgot one. Because normally it's supposed to start on its own, and it didn't after a computer reboot. Great. But that's okay, you know, life's like that. So we're going to start building the Easter Bunny Surprise, is what it says on the box. Probably going to hear double for me for a moment. Let's try that. Can you still hear me? Double checking. If I switch software, should be able to hear me still. Okay, good. Good. Yeah, so basically I got my main mic fed through... Ooh. Okay, overhead cam. Give me a sec. Deactivate. Reactivate. There we go. I got my regular microphone fed through another piece of software so we can get some of the room echo removal and stuff going. And resulting effect of that is just that sometimes that software doesn't actually reboot correctly. All right, so first things first, we need to start with bag 1. Let's head on over to that. Let's see. 2, 3. Okay, so there's only 4 today. And do we need any extra pieces? No. Okay. All right, so we have some stickers as well today, which will be good to know in advance that we do. And I'm not sure where I put my brick separator, so let's just hope we don't need one. And dive right in. Now the camera is a little weird. It doesn't want to focus all the time for some reason, and occasionally it freezes. So you guys may have to let me know if it does do a freeze. All right, so I'm just going to do a very basic sort on some of the pieces. Yes, you guys can see the stand. That was not intentional. The zoom on this camera keeps dying, but it's more important that the white balance doesn't die again, because that's the one that's the real fussy piece. There. That's probably close enough. Shove this stuff backwards. Get ourselves a working space. All right. So if there's one, that's such a complicated step. I don't think we're going to do too well with that one. Okay. It is a cute set, for sure. I'm looking forward to it. So, I didn't actually get a picture for the bottom corner, and it still says we're on the Rainforest set. Oops. My mistake. Where is set name? There we go. So I should change this. Delete all of that. I'm just going to take a quick second to try and type Easter Bunny surprise. Okay, that's not exactly centered. Can we get it to... Oh, doesn't want to move. Okay. So the new Lego setup is a bit wonky, but I will say technologically, there we go, close enough. It worked last night, like as in 4 a.m. So let's cross our fingers that it continues to work. Okay, we're gonna go with that. All right, so now it says Easter Bunny surprise. So then we need a second strip and 2 of the 1x4s.
Fantastic Sherlock Fox just redeemed CAH Family Edition, Black Card. I'm sorry, Mrs. Sanchez, but I couldn't finish my homework because of blank.
There we go. That's better. All right. Let's move on. Step 4. All right. So we got a curving piece.
Fantastic Sherlock Fox just redeemed CAH Family Edition, White Card. I'm sorry, Mrs. Sanchez, but I couldn't finish my homework because of blank. Fantastic Sherlock Fox says, the dog ate me.
Because the dog ate me? Wow. I have a feeling Mrs. Sanchez would not buy that. Alrighty. What have we got? So we use 2 purple pieces. But no, pink, 2 pink. And 2 blue. Here we go. Oh, face cam's being funky. Love it. I was telling Fantastic Sherlock Fox the other day that my machine has gremlins. And no, not the green kind. Just crazy behaviors that seem to make no sense. So, I don't know. I'm probably going to have to do a Windows reset. We're going to try that. But there may end up being a full reinstall. But, turns out I was having a problem with the face cam for this particular setup because it's different than the one I normally use. And I'm actually using my iPhone for this one. And if this goes well, I may check and see if one of our old iPhones will do the trick as a webcam. It's not, it doesn't have to be perfect. And, oh, things froze. Lovely. Overhead cam like me today. Come on, you. Whoa, see, that's the problem I've been having. Okay. Every time I do that, it gets reset. Camera control. Right, this. All right. I'm gonna leave those properties up on my screen so that hopefully I can get them to stay easily accessible. Yeah. So as I said, there's gremlins in the machine. It's not ideal. But, you do what you gotta do, right? where do I want to throw this? I have 3 monitors on my main computer. But right now I'm only copying one of them. So I'm remoted into the main machine. Anyways, where I was going with it was I was having problems with the face cam during this setup. And couldn't quite figure out why it was being so fussy. The software was made by Elgato, so I thought, hey, you know, that should work, right? Well, unbeknownst to me, somewhere along the line, it had been discontinued, and I didn't hear about that. So there's no longer support for it, etc. And when it just decided it was going to stop connecting, there was nothing I could do about it. I even looked at all the troubleshooting steps, and I'd done everything that it had said to try, and so I just said, okay, well, fine, what's one of the most popular ones that we can download instead? And went with a new piece of software. So there was a minor expense late last night, but it's a one-time fee, thankfully, because just about everything these days is paid for by the year. And this one turns out to had an option for lifetime that was actually reasonable. So we'll go with it. And it's a fairly well-rated piece of software. So we're looking at, I think I'm using DroidCam, which is a fairly popular one. I mean, most people have heard of it for, well, their Android phones, quite literally. And so, ooh, rinse and repeat, okay. So I'm trying that out. We'll see how it goes. There was another one that was free that was rated. It was also noted abilities. So this one is supposed to be better, but so far it's a little bit sus. So we'll just have to see. What I mean, did I just jump the gun here? Okay. What I mean by that is that the DroidCam software has some like auto zoom and stuff available on the device itself, as in on my iPhone, but not via software on the computer through OBS. Like they actually, I will give the company credit though. They've built a plugin that goes directly into OBS, so we don't have to have another piece of software running, which is great. I did, out of curiosity, pop up, like also download and pop up their standalone software, which you could then supposedly feed the output into something else. Could not get OBS to recognize that come, bleep or high water. And so I just went with the direct one. But it does mean then that if there's, zooms or white balance or whatever, for the face cam, it's on the phone itself. And we are freezing again. Okay, what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to flip to a be right back screen. But I'm not going to start actually, I'll give you guys one more round of marbles. Marbles? Geez, that's not the word I'm looking for. Words on stream. And then we'll come back, because it looks like the phone cam seems to be laggy but there. So I'm going to try and swap the two, and then I'll come right back.
called me last night, drunk again, trying to get me back with no offense. So many times, babe, I don't wanna try more. Think that you're sorry, just won't do. 지금 와서 뭐해? 시간 없어 언제까지 이렇게 난 끝 건데? Don't think of me anymore. Already said 100,000,000 times to you. I'm doing alright without you, baby. 너 없이 떠나질 살아, okay. Took your number off my phone. I'm doing better on my own. 생각조차 안 나 좋았던 나도. Without you, baby, oh, I feel brand new. Took your number off my phone. I'm doing better on my own. I'm doing better, doing better, doing better on my own. I'm doing better, doing better, doing better on my own. I kinda wish I'd never met you. If I know the things you would put me through, yeah. 그냥 이 모든 게 싫어졌어. 시간 낭비 같아 두름이야. What's the point, baby? Already gone, baby. Hey, call me when you feeling lonely. 이젠 생각하지 마. 보고 싶어도 손을 놓지 마. 이제 우리 따윈 없으니까. 다른 여자 품에 있고 날 기억하지 마. Don't think of me anymore. Already said 100,000,000 times to you before. Said it before, yeah. I'm doing alright without you, baby. 너 없이 떠나질 살아, okay. Took your number off my phone. I'm doing better on my own. 생각조차 안 나 좋았던 나도. Without you, baby, oh, I feel brand new. Took your number off my phone. I'm doing better on my own. I'm doing alright without you, baby. 너 없이 떠나질 살아, okay. Took your number off my phone. I'm doing better on my own. 생각조차 안 나 좋았던 날도. Without you, baby, oh, I feel brand new. Took your number off my phone. I'm doing better on my own. I'm doing better, doing better, doing better on my own. I'm doing better,
Well, let's try this again. I'm going to attempt to go with no face cam, and we'll see how it goes. I've actually swapped the two cameras, so we can see if we can get anything a little bit better here. Let's see, can I zoom in just a bit? Okay, we're going to try something like this, and we'll see what happens. I do have to do a deactivate and reactivate on this one again. You know, life is like that, apparently. iPhone cam, where are you? It's possible that using the second desk could just be simply cursed. That's also totally possible. Oh, nope, seems to be. Okay, well, we're gonna go with it. So, we're on this one, got that far. Okay, so this one wants us to here and put the second piece of the top on. So I got distracted right in the middle of everything. There we go. Now this is a fairly short build, so we may push through just as long as it takes. I don't know how long that will be, but you know, more it's going to take. Things go well. Totally. Now streaming on Twitch for sure. Okay. And then these two connect, looks like. Oh, I see. Okay. So it is, this will do, but this way, I think? Yeah. Okay, so we've got that one. And there's a delay. Weird. I don't know. I don't know. It's Lego, right? You do what you gotta do. So you guys aren't nuts if you think you're seeing strange behavior. It's not just you. Okay. And then the second one goes on this side. There. Alright, bag 2. We have extras, that's good. Let's hide those under there, that works. And right on to bag 2. Oh. I'm trying to figure out why. I'm hoping I'm not missing any parts, because bag 2 appears to have slightly been opened. Just the process seems to have sliced the corner. We'll hope that things go well. Okay. We need 2 of these to stack. There. And 2 more on the other side. There. And we have another hinge. There's one half. There's the other half. So additional strength, it looks like. Two little ones. So we're just evening out the 3 on top. I don't know why I just... Never mind. My brain still seems to think I've got a face cam going. I don't know why. And so I just had to stress out about my watch. It was kind of bizarre. Okay, so we've got 6 because we're putting 3 and 3 on the opposite side as well to stack up. So 3 on this side. And 1, 2, 3 on this side. Need one of these pieces, whatever this is for. Oh, well, right in there. Duty to it. There's a usual piece. We need the panel. That one. Okay. And then this section goes on the bottom. I don't know if I've ever seen one of these before, but it doesn't seem like a piece that would need to be custom made for this. So if anybody happens to know what other set that's from, that'd be something I'd be curious to know. Oh, but I actually have to pay attention to the instructions. It wants a lift underneath. So we're probably building a muzzle or something like that. Nose section is my guess, but I could be wrong. Okay, so that will go on this side here. That. Now we've got another one. Could be the bunny's tail, actually, for that first one. So then the second one, yeah, it definitely was. Now we put in a square panel. And a couple of brown facial pieces. Okay. Oh, that's gonna bug me. What do I have? There we go. What's going to bug me is because parts of this are going to show on the piece, that I've got to get the Lego words going the right direction. I don't think I didn't on the back one get it correct. See this one? Can I? Oh, no, maybe not. Lego leg side. There we go. Lego correct way up. There we go. Now I can see it. Not normally that fussy, but when you're going to be able to see it, it's possible. So then it drives me a little nuts. Fox is lagged today, and it's not just because of a day off. He's still doing the dad thing on a different floor, because of course Easter Monday our kids have off from school, so they're up and about. And he's doing double duty there, which is kind of like, I mean, it's not a whole lot different from usual from what we experience here on the stream with Fantastic Sherlock Fox when he's in meetings and such. He's got other calls on his time, so this is a little bit similar. Right. I mean, I really would like to get the camera layout figured out and actually cooperating, because this is actually a much more comfortable place to sit. So what I might be able to do is, we'll see if we can find a way to nix some of the extensions I've got going into my main computer. That's probably part of it. Is some cameras do not like having themselves plugged into extension cables, even if there's boosters on the extension cable. And I've noted that sometimes the Logitech cameras can be pretty fussy in the first place. I'd love to switch to the Anchor camera that I use regularly during the week for things. Unfortunately, that camera I can only have one of in my system, and so I just didn't bother swapping out that far. But because the Anchor camera I can just put a longer cable on, whereas the Logitech one I was using to start with, unfortunately has a cable physically mounted to it, so it's a limited length. If I can make the limited length one reach my computer tower, then we might swap out for later in the week. But, you know, the reason I want to get this separate desk going is because then I can just leave a mess, like when time was up or whatever, I can get up and go. But, you know, there's a lot of but this, but that. Let's see. I've heard moo. Let's move on. trying to remember where that was from. It was a quote from some movie or something. But it was talking. I think it was a parent talking to a kid who's going, but, and they're like, yeah, farm animals do things you don't. Okay. I can get the camera timing and everything. This is a much more comfortable place to sit for Lego because it's a really good height for it. It actually would be good height for computers too, but I've got a credenza on the back, so that would not work too well for my monitors. And it's way too small horizontally for 3 monitors. So yeah. I recognize I'm spoiled by having 3 monitors. I love it. It's really, really handy. Actually, I'm spoiled by a lot of the technology we have. It's part of being a nerd household is that we have tech. Now, it's a little bit old by today's standards. It's not as hot as some of the stuff that, say, our friend ITT Tom has recently put together, or the things that some of our other community members have been looking at for upgrades recently. But it does the job quite nicely, and most of the time it works. Although, I mean, as you guys saw last week, some games have a beautiful level that requires everything to drag down to poor frame rates. We're getting to the point where as long as I keep playing modded Minecraft, it's going to keep doing that. So we may need to add some more juice to it. And there's some, less expensive ways to refresh the machine, like adding a bit more of the RAM. We can probably do that. Okay. I'm starting to get a vibe that the surprise of the Easter Bunny is less in the bunny itself. I think it's more that the bunny is probably a container for other surprises. Chocolates and Easter nibbles and so forth. So that's what I'm guessing, but I could be wrong. Bag. FSF is like Superman. All the things. Wow. There's an ADHD related streamer that I watch who her little tagline thing that she says a lot is that, the click like, subscribe, or like, subscribe, and click all the things. And I keep getting that stuck in my head. And so when you said, he does all the things, like, yep, there's a Jessica moment for you. Okay, so we've got bunny face and bunny tail. That is cute. And then looks like we're going to be building more of the... I guess if we only had ears and top of the head left, then we wouldn't need 2 bags. So maybe there is a surprise that I'm not thinking about yet. So do we... What do they say? Oh, what's the word? Yeah. Follow, subscribe, and Fantastic Fox all the things. There we go. I can pretend, right? Pretending is fun. Alright, so we have a lot more color. Set this aside so we can see what's going on. I do apologize for the herky-jerkiness. I don't know why things are delaying like that. I suspect my phone cam is connecting wirelessly, whereas it should have been connecting by USB, but oops, you can't always win. So for those of you that can see the PDF in the corner, and apologies for all the white space, I didn't realize it was going to do that. There is an external build, it looks like, some sort of garden, so that appears to be what we're working on now. It is indeed very, very cute. Yeah, it's funny because I'm not normally into a lot of the seasonal builds, but we've had some really cute ones over the last year or so. We've got this one, and then at Christmas we had a lovely little train that I built, which was a gift with purchase, and there was, I think there was another, like almost... Well, Fantastic Sherlock Fox comes up with the neatest stuff, because I don't necessarily realize what's available with a gift with purchase outside the Harry Potter theme, because those ones, I'm a little bit of a magnet for. But when we get some really neat ones, they don't have to live in my office. So far, the majority of them have just joined my have a whole ton of space for stuff like this. I'm actually running out, but that means that I've got like we talked about this a little bit before, but I've got shelving that has 13-inch cubic spaces, which is that's kind of a dumb size, but you know, if you have stuff that's a foot by foot, I guess that kind of makes sense. But with the cubic spaces, a lot of the Lego, well, some of it is too tall, which is a bit of an annoyance, so it has to sit on top of the shelving. But some of it is too short, meaning then that I have like half of the cube left. So what I'm looking into doing is splitting them. I've seen mounts, like you can get your shelf mounts and whatever for something fairly standard, and potentially drill extra holes or whatnot. But I'm looking at doing some 3D printed stands that will hold an insert for the IKEA shelving I've got. And it's actually not designed for that particular line, but they use the same scale on a lot of their lines. So I'm probably going to get some insert shelving. We'll see how much we want to spend on the project to split it. If we do it in the glass shelves, that would probably be ideal because then you can see through, but if not, we'll make it work. And that will help split some of the spaces. Eventually, in the mythical someday, I will get around to it. I'll make a craft project round to it. That's a whole different thing. But I will eventually get around to taking glamour shots of things. I mean, this is one thing this desk setup will work for as is I can start doing some glamour shots of some of the Lego, because it's just, we've got good lighting and I can get better angles out front and stuff like that. So that I can do. Just have to make myself do it, because that's a project in itself, since I'm so behind. And I might just photo it all, even the stuff that I've photoed before. That way I don't have to think about what did I do before and what have I not done yet. So it might end up in reverse chronological order based on how much I can remember it. And I mean, some of the sets I built well before I started streaming. So I've got sets from 2018, and I don't think I started streaming till probably about 2019. But one. Okay, we've got. I'm gonna try and show. Where did I put the? Oh, I just spotted my brick separators. They're in behind one of my unreachable at the moment drawers. Okay, well that's fine. Because when all else fails, I just reach off the other side and I have a whole bag full. Fine. Oh well, can't find it at the moment. That's fine. We'll figure it out. But I'm gonna try and show you these flowers once I get them put on the base here, because it's really quite beautiful. They've got little tiny tulips that I don't think I've personally seen before. They may have popped up on other builds, but I'm more used to seeing things used for flowers as opposed to flowers. Like, I mean, yeah, most people are used to, we see the little green pieces for leaves and stuff. That's pretty normal. I'll see if I can show one of these. Oop, my ugly little hand here. Show a couple of these a little closer. Those are beautiful. And if I can get the cameras to settle out, using my phone cam as the overhead actually is great, because its focus is really ridiculously fast. So that could be good news. Yeah, they are very, very pretty. We've got them just in the two colors, though, in the pink and the yellow. But they do come out looking quite nice on the little base thing there. All right. And then we've got an egg. Ooh, The weird texture. Must be a new print. New. I know Lego is notorious for having problems with their oranges and their yellows. Oswin. It's once again the old story where Oswin doesn't know what I've said, so he has no clue. It's funny, actually. We were talking sort of about him last night, in a way. So last night our family had our Easter celebration dinner, just to get together, etc. And one of the things we were talking about was AI with regards to large language models, and that's really what Oswin is. I mean, I love to pretend he's otherwise, and I still call him he just for convenience sake, because the character that he's named after and semi-modeled after was a guy. But it's just an example of the large learning model that they're sort of programmed to be, I guess you'd say, faux bright enough. Sorry, Oswin. Faux bright enough to guess what we might want to hear and contextually work with what they've been given. Which is great, except that if you don't have the whole story, then the answers can be kind of strange because you're not getting the whole story. So someday, in my Magic Someday world, I would like to be able to use keywords verbally to get it to listen, which I can do so far. But that's an audio feed in, and I'm not sure how it would work with that. Like, it doesn't print. So if I can figure out at some point, first I'd have to fix the closed captioning, because right now, if one was to actually watch the closed captions, they can be kind of janky and don't make a whole lot of sense. I'm always torn between the one that has punctuation, and I don't have to remember to turn it on, which is great for my ADHD forgetfulness. Or another alternative is there is a plugin available for Twitch, like an extension, that would sit on your screen and you guys would have control of what you want to see. I'm very confused by that. I didn't touch anything. Phone, you're being stupid. But if we did it the second way, then it's a bit more accurate in the wording, but it doesn't have any punctuation whatsoever. And I can't get a file out of it. Like, that would be just on screen. So doing it the way we've got right now with punctuation and stuff, I can theoretically save down to a file, which could, if I was more programmatically minded, possibly give me an option for being able to feed parts of that real time into Oswin to give him more context. Then we'd have strange conversations between Oswin and I when it's really quiet, so that would be a little weird. I mean, I do recall when Oswin started sort of reacting for itself, that some of the people in stream were a little bit unsettled by that. So, I'm always wondering whether or not that's going well, or if we should back him down again. But on the bright side, we're not having verbal conversations with Oswin. That would be really strange. I've seen some streamers that use sort of a Tangia model for that. I just haven't quite got there. Oh, heavens, that is cute. Okay, you've got to see this guy up close. What can I use? Let's use this. Okay, so this one. He's adorable. I love sheep in Lego. I love Lego sheep. They are absolutely wonderful. But at the moment, this is my most popular, most favorite piece. With the printed face and stuff. And I didn't get any mistakes on it either. This is one of those ones where it's far too easy for the Lego prints to come out crooked. Oswin, we didn't talk to you. So yeah, that's one of the things where the image of Oswin being a little more real is shattered when they're asking questions like how can they help, because by not having the context, then they don't know. So I guess the surprise is, so then this inside, orientation got messed up. Which one is it? I think it's the tail section. There we go. So it looks like we have a little diorama stored inside. That's cute. And then we rinse and repeat and build one for the other side, I suppose. I will say having the phone cam up top gives me hope that we can get this sorted out, because I love the continued focus on this one. It's great. What are you guys thinking of the music today? It's another Epidemic Sound playlist. I believe... I just lean back for a sec. Oh, nope, I put it on the wrong screen. Okay. Our playlist theme today is actually the Arts and Crafts DIY category. And I just figured I'd try something a little different, because I'm not running a video game on the computer. So I thought, yep, maybe we can handle running the Epidemic Sound Zone software for music. We'll see how that goes, kind of deal. And it mostly sounds okay. The DIY section is a bit bizarre. They had some other ones. They didn't have one for, you know, like hands-on crafting as such. It's funny, as I say that, it starts kicking in and out, so I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, speakerphone isn't great. I will tell you that. It doesn't help itself. Okay, what have we got? Oh. Interesting. Oh, that's probably because I'm looking at the wrong one. I was looking at Spotify volume levels and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not running Spotify today. But it was definitely picking up on my mic, which is not good. Epidemic Sound. Okay, yeah, it is playing. Good. Just tweak it just a bit. There we go. 2 minutes of ads. Blah. That's okay. I would consider snoozing it, but then it'll just interrupt us later, because it seems to want to be a pain that way. Alright, so let's go this way, and looks like we're going to put a rotator piece in. Yes, so this needs that one. I don't think I've seen one in tan before. I'll have to ask my kids, they've seen a lot. Okay, and then we put some sort of base on that. Taps on to there. Now, I am using my iPad for the PDF. That's what you guys are getting on screen there. There is a way for me to do that wirelessly without a cable, which would free up a slot, but I don't think that that will help a whole lot, because I don't really want to overload all the sort of wireless waves in my office, because it doesn't actually directly connect to the computer in a Bluetooth sense. It's insists on using Wi-Fi for a lot of these things, which, I mean, that's great, but sometimes can be a little flaky in our house, just because I'm in a basement, and so I'm not near the Wi-Fi. My actual computer is on a wired connection, which is part of where things normally work better. What do we got? Dark one, okay. There's a story to that. I can't remember. It wasn't important. Whatever it was not important. 1, 2, light one. Okay. So we've got some light ones that are kind of almost limey. There we go. Yeah. And some that are dark. And I'm just sometimes having trouble figuring out which is which, because they have two different greens, and then of course the green panels, the little squares. You know, sometimes it's something I was thinking about because of watching a 3D printing. No, it wasn't. It was Linus Sebastian's MediaCorp LTT, I guess it was. And they were talking a little bit about trying to get accurate colors for when they're making products for their store. And in that store, they wanted a full set of like Pantone colors, but like the little color chips. But the problem with that is that was easily Canadian over $1,500 to get the official chips, like the whole thing. And it also costs an arm and a leg and 2 teeth, I suppose, to get, was it? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so it also costs an awful lot to get permission to use the official palette in their design software, so they can actually design things to look the way they want. And I don't know if they were paying for an Adobe product or Adobe compatible product or not. But in any case, okay. Here's another one I'm going to show you, and I might as well show you the squirrel while I'm at it. So it did give us a spare, it looks like. Let's see if we can get these together.
There goes the channel. Creef78 just raided with 9 pairs of eyes. Welcome
Hey there,
in,
Creef.
Raiders.
Welcome on in, Raider team. Okay, I'm going to pull the squirrel off. We are working today on a Lego kit called the Easter Bunny Surprise. Drop on in. I'm having a bit of a tech challenge because I'm trying a secondary desk. Like quite literally, it's 90 degrees from my original desk, and so sometimes the overhead camera blinks out a little bit, may freeze a little bit and be a bit choppy. But for some reason, I cannot seem to get that and a webcam cooperating at the same time, so I've opted to go with no webcam today. But I was just showing off the fact that we have these really cute little tiny printed nut pieces. I do have a spare of that, so they've got a second one. And then in with that, we also have these cute little fluffy squirrels. Oop. Come on, catch up. There we go. So there's the squirrels. He's not quite as cute as the rabbit, which I'll re-show in just a moment, but he is pretty sweet. And I apologize to people raiding in right in the middle of an ad. That's never fun. Too cute. Yeah, it is definitely too cute. So we have an ad break. It's about another 40 seconds long. I will re-show the cute pieces right after that, just so that people don't miss out entirely on that. And you're starting to make me think, Mama Bear, that you're probably paying a little too much to see this channel, given all the headaches we've had and the exchange rates and. But on the bright side, you're not importing this product or paying any extra fees. So, well, in a physical sense. But that's a whole different kettle of fish that I'm not going to touch with a 10-foot pole after this. Ads, 3, 2, 1, and Shazam. All right, let's try that one more time. Okay, so welcome on in, Raiders. Very, very glad to see you. Creef, do tell me what you were up to if you're still around, or if you're not and had to raid and run. Please do have someone in your community jump in on your behalf and tell us what you were up to, because I would love to know. So we'll repeat that one more time. So we are working, as you can see in the corner, we are working on the Easter Bunny Surprise set. Hey Neon, good to see you. In a bit of a janky setup, we do not have a face cam because it's being ridiculous on us. So yeah, it's just because I've got long cables going to 2 different desks on one computer. And probably not the world's best setup for that, but you know, it's a work in progress. So we're working on this thing, and we've got a cute little diorama. I was just showing off, let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah, there we go. That we have a nut, printed nut in there. That's pretty cool. I like that. The cameras are being a little wonky, so we get a bit of a lag, freeze, and then it catches up, and lag, freeze, catch up. So you're not going crazy if that's what you're seeing on your screen. It is really what's there. We also have, to go with that, we have a lovely little squirrel buddy. Let's see if we can do this again. So I'll show you off the squirrel. He's cute. He's got a little printed nose and everything. That's great. Here, can I get closer? iPhone, you win. Nope, not quite. You can see my old hands. Fantastic. Alright, so that's there. And on the other half, we have this absolutely adorable little bunny. A very lovely printed face. So yeah, he's amazing. Okay, so it seems like either Creef is busy or has chosen to raid and run. Can't blame him, because being... Oh geez, it's a bunch of hours ahead of us. Can't recall off the top of my bean, but yeah, it's like 10 hours, I think, ahead of us. And for me, it is about 11:30 in the morning. So yeah, they're pretty far ahead. Anyway, Creef was playing hardcore. Ooh, you got dumped over here. Well, sorry. But then again, hey, that's so Canadian. But he was playing hardcore, and I'm hoping it was going well. I've been thinking of jumping on the recently updated DC73 community modded server this week. I will probably still be doing a little bit of my Britannia stuff, but we'll see, because I'm way behind the 8 ball on the modded server compared to basically everybody else. I don't know how far we're going to get in this pack. I jumped on and wow, it was a bit of an adventure, a bit of a mind job just to get started. But you know, yeah, do what you gotta do to get started in a pack. So I don't have any clue which end is up in that one, and we'll probably try that on Wednesday, I think. But hey, at least we'll be back to normal cameras. Maybe. I'll have a face. Yes, there you go. It's 1, 2. I think we're building some sort of bush? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, once the flowers put together first. So, what sort of, I guess I'll have to watch the VOD. I was gonna ask what sort of biome that Creef was working in for their base this season. Jungle. Ooh, that's a different one. I don't think I've actually ever worked in a jungle. Usually I go and steal things from the jungle and then get out again. But that's just because I have a tendency to fall off stuff. So in a hardcore world, that would be the end of me. But it doesn't mean that it's a bad place to be. It's just different. A challenge, right? Reasonable challenge. I guess someday when it's not detrimental, I could try building a treehouse. You know, maybe that'll be my plan for another season. I don't know. Being frank, I don't know if I will make it back to the vanilla Java server from Deadcraft's community before the end of the season. Minecraft of late, and that makes it a bit challenging to be fired up about the projects, and without being fired up, it can be a little bit of a slog. So I think the idea is to enjoy everything, right? He died on server, so he was on personal world after that. Oh, okay, so he was playing hardcore. Very was. That's too bad. That's too bad. I will say though, one of the reasons I survived as long as I did on hardcore the last time I played was partly because I would say I took the easy way out, and partly meaning that in that I didn't play it when I wasn't streaming. Anything more than like AFK related stuff. Let's see, extras, okay. So, ooh, extra flowers. Yay. That was partly why I survived as long as I did, but also, as you guys know, I'm a big chicken. Well, I'm not the big chicken, but I play like a wimp. And the result is that you tend to survive a little longer, but the fire isn't there. It's funny, I love to watch people doing things daringly, but I'm never comfortable doing things daringly. It's you can't really turn hardcore into a cozy game. It doesn't really have pizzazz to it. I enjoy it, sort of, but I don't necessarily enjoy, you know, falling off stuff, and it's just that I make more mistakes when I'm nervous, right? Not everybody does, but not everybody doesn't either. Okay. Minor sort, just because that pile looked a little daunting. It's close enough. Alright. So, 65 is a very much complicated step. That's it. Those steps are kind of funny. I really wish they would stop doing that. Like, I could figure this step out with both pieces at the same time. It's not rocket science. So sometimes I wonder why LEGO bothers dedicating an entire step to something silly, where you just add one piece. I mean, sometimes you can add 2 or 3 and the shape is so basic that it's going to make sense without having to give us a full set of steps. And other times they love to say, oh, you're going to add these 8 pieces and just show them all over the build so far, which doesn't work well in printed stuff. I am hoping at some point I'll get back into bigger sets, but at the moment we're doing a lot of things that are more of a gift with purchase scale. And the gift with purchases, LEGO just does the PDFs of their booklets. That's all there is to it. Whereas some of the bigger scale stuff has interactivity, so we can spin the design and zoom in and things blink and whatever, which is very, very helpful. Just making sure I'm not seeing things. Yeah. So like step 70 goes from this chunk to having another section like this side all in one step. Whereas getting to that point, they did it in separate steps. You sort of wonder, was the guy, hopped up on coffee or something by the time they got this far through? Who knows? But I mean, I'm looking forward to getting back to Minecraft. I'm kind of curious about the new mod pack, partly because it's supposed to be magic and tech. Now, I'm very clear about it that I don't generally like magic mod packs. I've had fun with some astral sorcery, and I've had fun here and there with, say potion related stuff, and I don't build a whole lot of potions. And I had a lot of fun with all the mods 8 doing some of the sort of food potion-y type stuff. But this one, I'm not sure where it's going to land. And it doesn't have Britannia in it, which is kind of funny to me, only in that it seems like everything in its dog had it. So that was why I picked to learn that magic mod. And then I go and find a set that suddenly doesn't have it. Can't win them all. I feel like ours only due to the summon Mage Light unlimited torches. Yeah. I can agree with you on that one. This is a weird piece. I put them in correctly. 1, 2. I can agree with you on that one, but I think, astral sorcery is kind of fun watching sort of the starlight doing things. It's just, and I don't mind the altars and all that kind of stuff. I really don't like the blood magic ones. They just, it's part of it is the concept, and part of it is just I never was comfortable with intentionally hurting my character in order to be able to do stuff in the game, like magical stuff. That just seemed weird to me. But so I was looking at Britannia, and wow, it's a bit of an uphill grind. It's good, but it's a bit of an uphill grind. And I can see why some mod packs that do use it integrate it with other things, so that you end up with either far less Britannia stuff going on, or you end up with Britannia supplies altered to be something easier to pick up, or you end up with a way of having 1,000,001 Britannia pieces just kicking around, whereas mine is a little bit of a pain to make things happen. Yeah, exactly. Evilcraft is sketchy, for sure. I would certainly agree on that. There was one, I'm trying to remember what it was, but there was some that you had to do some sort of blood magic type stuff in the Sevtech mod pack, and that's where I really sort of cut my teeth on Java. So I went from playing Java on the iPad when it was Pocket Edition, I think they called it, to playing, I don't think I ever really did a whole lot of Java on like a vanilla Java on my computer PC early on. We got into watching some family-friendly Minecraft, which is what was encouraging me to play on tablet, because it was, wouldn't say if it was the hot thing at the time, but we thought it was going to be something that the kids would be really into, so we were learning about family-friendly Minecraft. And to watching a content creator. Oops, I'm jumping the gun here. 1, 2, 3, 5. Yes, okay. Watching a content creator who started playing Sevtech, and I absolutely fell in love with it and said, okay, what do I need to do to be able to play this? So we bought the PC version of Minecraft, which was definitely a little bit of a learning curve, but I mean, learning it straight into the mod pack made vanilla seem sort of weird at the time. And I jumped the gun again. What am I doing? Use my brain. Anyhow, so that's how I more or less cut my teeth on Minecraft, was through mod packs, and I guess in a way you could sort of say going back to mod packs is kind of home, but there's so much variety available in, whether it be mod packs now or add-on sets or, you know, whatnot in Bedrock. It's still a very strange world at times. There's some that I really, really enjoy. Like, for example, I've played a little bit of Stoneblock, and there was one Breakout, I think I tried that one. And I quite enjoy those sorts of things. And as you guys saw, I tried to walk my way through what's it called? Mystical Agriculture, so that's kind of magic-ish. And I quite liked that one. You know, the resource production types. Sort of like any of the ones that get you resources in a strange way, such as chickens, or... Chickens is my favorite one. Chickens or Mystical Agriculture, probably. So, all that to say that I'm not anti the magic mods. As I said, I've grown up using them, so to speak. Minecraft grown up using them. But it's just, some of them I just never really got deep into, and so I looked at what was super popular to show up in a lot of the packs, and that was where I figured I'd start to learn my way through it a bit more. And yeah, it's grindy. But basically, it seems like everything is grindy. For being a fairly cozy game, Minecraft can be fairly grindy. And the big thing is you're gonna hurt yourself while you're doing that. And that's kind of...
Fantastic Sherlock Fox just redeemed CAH Family Edition. Black card. Attention students. This is Principal Gotcha reminding you that we do not allow blank in the hallway. Thank you.
There's the dreaded 2x. And I'm not quite sure what blank in the hallway we want to avoid, but that sounds a little sketchy to me. So we have to do this again. Yeah. That can be... So many things I could think of for that. Some are just ridiculous, and some are semi-sensible. But the Cards Against Humanity set, I had it popping up automatically for a while, as in, that was something that was always starting the stream, and I've discontinued that, but it's still there for you guys to play, as you can clearly see. So, oops. So, you know, have at her if you want. There is also additional cards available for that set that I have not purchased yet. And these are the family-friendly ones, theoretically. So in other words, although they can be made to be sounding sketchy, they...
Fantastic Sherlock Fox just redeemed CAH Family Edition. White card. Attention students. This is Principal Gotcha reminding you that we do not allow blank in the hallway. Thank you. Fantastic Sherlock Fox says, epic breakdancing.
We don't allow epic breakdancing, just the sus stuff in the hallway, right? Principal Gotcha. Well, as they said in some horrible movie at some point, gotcha's gonna get you. Alright. Okay, so that's gonna go on top of there, but we need to put flowers on first. So these flowers are, once again, a little different. I don't think I've ever seen some like that before, but it doesn't make sense to just print them for a set like this, unless LEGO has other plans for them, or if they've been used in other sets I just haven't had. That's possible too. And lots of cuteness in this set. So we've got this is not a rat. Sorry. That reference may be a little weird, just in terms of randomness, but it occurred to me, Harry Potter line, when Ron Weasley says his brothers gave him a spell to do on his rat, and I think it came up, so it's sunshine, daisies, butter, mellow, turn this stupid fat rat yellow. And it, of course, doesn't work, because it's not a real spell. I'm glad you like this one. This song, apparently... Let's come on. Aha, there we go. The song is called We Come Alive. Which, I'm not entirely sure how alive we are, but hey, it works. Easter theme set. Playlist around that theme. But I just decided that, you know, in interest of being as middle of the road as I could be, wasn't gonna go quite over there. Although I did have an Easter themed song stuck in my head this morning, which probably wasn't great. So, giving background story, not much. But when I was a kid, of course I used to regularly do the whole church thing. Life changed and belief sets changed and, well, stuff. But anyways, point to this element is that on Easter morning, in the neighborhood where I grew up, or not that far from the neighborhood where I grew up, there was a big hill right next to an irrigation canal. And the irrigation canal runs along one of our major highways as well, through the city. And so you've got like an embankment on each side, but it gives a good excuse for the neighborhoods and stuff on the far side to be built up. And I guess that's just the way the land was anyway. But at the top, there is a sundial type of time clock, so quite literally a massive sundial, and a attached to a compass, sort of. Like it's a, you know, it's cardinal directions and all that sort of thing. And we're talking probably about 10 feet across, I think. But it's not in the ground. It's actually built up on gears. And from what I understand, it's spare gears that were used for opening and closing the gates, or like of the type that were used for opening and closing the gates for the canal. So then they just cemented it and added lettering and whatever. And so that's the compass. So every Easter Sunday morning, the early birds, meaning like 7:30 people. Or was it? No, I think it was the 8:30 people. Anyways, either way, we would collect out on the hill near the we used to call it the compass thing, quite literally, including the word thing. I guess that's the end of it. So the lid supposedly comes off with your ears, and then you can open it up, and you've got little dioramas. There's 1 and 2. Okay, we've got those 2. And then like we'd meet up there and have, you know, they call it sunrise service, but I mean, up here it's early enough in the year that really you don't have sunrise till like 8:30-ish. Officially, it's technically earlier, but you know, they call it a sunrise service. And then they just do a whole bunch of a cappella singing and stuff like that. Nothing too fancy, you know, people just being goofy. But I had one of the songs stuck in my head. It has a piano accompaniment to it normally, but of course when you're out in the middle of much anything. Okay, so it looks like we have, they gave us a sticker sheet. Let's see if we can get all the way back to the beginning easily. Nope. It's a little easier. It gave us a sticker sheet, and it looks like the stickers, yeah, are purely for decoration. But frankly put, between you and me and the trees, I actually like it just white, so I'm not going to add the stickers. I find it interesting too, in the picture they have a tan eye on the nose rather than a pink one, but I'm going to leave the pink one because that's what the instructions gave us. And the tan would have matched the brown cheeks, so, or not tan, the brown I have would have matched the cheeks, so there's not much point in changing that. But yeah, it's very, very cute. We have technically 10 minutes left. I don't have a small build handy at the moment, but the next major, in quotes, build I've got going, I will show you what the plan is. So, for those of you that are aware, we had a great time winning from the local brick shop. We watched them a lot, and the local brick shop did a giveaway where they gave away massive set for the Shire. Hobbit Hill and Party Zone from Hobbit's birthday party. And it comes with a gift with purchase if you got it quick enough. So the next one up we have is the gift with purchase from that set. Sorry for the lighting. So it's Smeagol and Deagle going fishing. Lord of the Rings. Now, with this one, I'm going to give it back to my son when we're done, but I did, because I won the set and this came with it, I said, okay, set is yours, you can build the set, that's no problem. May I have permission to build the gift with purchase on stream? And he said, sure. So that's where we went with that one. Yeah, so we're going to build this one up. You can see the scene from the movie, where the two of them are, at the time, getting along in the boat. The particular freeze frame they chose happens to have Smeagol's head tipped, kind of like he's leaning on the other guy's shoulder, but that's definitely not what's going on. It just happens to be the frame freeze they chose. But you can see a little bit of detail in here. For example, oops, I'm going to go way up high on purpose. You can see that Smeagol's got probably two faces, a good one and a grouchy one, and he is, in this particular scene, coveting the one ring that Deagle apparently found first. Yeah, so we've got the happy face on this side, and the other. So we're going to be building that one next time. I've been looking forward to this one for quite a while, so hopefully, cross my fingers, we will get the cameras sorted out. But if not, we can do it. This way isn't horrible. Like you can see, I'm almost real time most of the time here. So this way isn't horrible. And if I have to go with this route and just maybe tidy up a few bits and pieces of lighting and stuff, then that's where we're at. Let's see. Yellow says Smeagol has more hair than I remember, or is this pre-ring era? It's the early pre-ring era, when he is a nice guy. The impression that I get from both reading the books and from the films is that as he transitions into the more, I guess you could say, depraved Smeagol that we see in the later part of the story, is that his behavior I believe it gets him thrown out of his village, or he leaves the village for his own reasons. I'm not entirely sure if I remember that clearly. But then, he's emaciated and stuff. He doesn't eat very well. He becomes a wild man living on his own. And I suspect he loses his hair partly because it's a bit of an energy thing, as in, like, your body doesn't want to put energy into growing hair, but that and it's common for people stressing out and going a little crazy, particularly stereotypically, to lose their hair because they've basically just been pulling it out. And if you do that enough, your body learns not to bother growing it. The other part is I don't think we really get a good sense of exactly how old Smeagol is, so it could also be some generic male pattern baldness in there. I don't know, but we'll find out. Anyways, so this is going to be the Smeagol and Deagle set, and we will then return it to my son afterwards. He's got a couple of things that he's been working on before he goes to build the Shire, so he's excited about it, but not necessarily chomping at the bit to build it. I think part of it could be he doesn't want he may not want the build to be over really soon. So I can see him dragging his feet on that one just to preserve the opportunity. But in any case, that's what we're looking at for the next time. I know today was a little bit short. We've been just a bit more than an hour and a half because I don't have anything else Lego-y in store at the moment. We could switch, but I mean, we're close enough to the end of normal time had I not started a bit behind, that I think we'll just find someone great to raid and then call it for today. But just from thinking, is there any sets I wanted to show off that I'd forgotten to? Not that I can think of. You guys have seen almost everything I've got. But, yeah. Other than taking pictures of things. So, Fox, if you could help me, or Mama Bear, either one of you, help me find somewhere that would be lovely to raid to. That would be very much appreciated. So I have a million things open on one screen right now, and it's all pretty tiny. Let's see. We're probably going to return back to Minecraft today. I'm not following any LEGO streamers. I feel like it would be a good place for me to transition to. I forgot. I'm pausing for a second just to try and get my head in order. I think, actually, there's one we haven't raided in a while. Ooh, what have we got? Hearing ding dongs. Uh-oh. Hey, Jay. Timing! Excellent! Jay is officially the first one here. Nobody else is here yet, right? Right? Just me and Jay? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hey, Jay. Welcome on in. Hope you had a good Easter weekend. Where are we here? I think I'm actually going to do a turnaround and head on out. Unfortunately, I do apologize for that. We have not gone to Mama Melissa for a while. So they are playing Minecraft at the moment. And they're playing in... Where are they playing in? Creative at the moment. But I think they're going to be doing some pretty chill, fun stuff. Oh, trees up. Okay, yep, nope, we're going over there. Yeah, they're playing... So Corrupted Tree is from across the pond as well. And they are working right now on a mega city project. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go say hi to Corrupted Tree. And I have to start the raid manually. Give me a second here. Where's the button?
Mischief managed.
All right. Yeah, you're very, very welcome. I'm glad you liked the build today. I'm just going to put that one down so we can see what's what. There we go. Okay, so thank you very much for the raid, Creep. I very much appreciate that. Also, we had a great moderation team, Fantastic Sherlock Fox and Mama Bear, and a few bits of points spent by them as well as Jay. Thank you very much for conversation from the moderation team, including Yellow and Jay and, sorry, Neon Traveler. We're off to see Corrupted Tree. So I will be back on Wednesday. We will be doing some Minecraft. And until then, have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful few days. Enjoy your weekend. Or good luck with your work week. And bye-bye for now.
Transfer complete. 알려주고 싶어서